So I'm going to do that. Okay, I think we are live. Let's see, I'm waiting for all the different places to go live. Let's give that a second. We're live on Instagram too. And then I'm going to come back here. Okay, now let's see. Schedule your... Nope. All right. I want to show this. And then I'm going to click on the three dots. It's not pinning. I don't know how to pin it. Let's see. Let's try this. We're almost there, my friends. We're almost there. We're going to take that and we're going to delete it. Okay. So we're just kind of getting all the stuff ready so that we are able to show you everything that we want to show you. And show. Okay, that is there. We are live. It is April 9th, Tuesday, and I have my very good friend, Cantor Ross Woolman here. If you're watching, which I hope that you are, we have some fun things in store for you today. But before we even get there, we're going to get to the new song. I would love to know, Cantor Woolman, if you could just tell us what you're doing to prepare musically, I'll say, for the upcoming Chag.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to do. I have to go and make sure I have all my silly hats
let's see them all.
Ready for the Seder, because this one's a favorite. And this one's a favorite. And
I love that one.
This is a favorite.
Oh, do the kids have a favorite?
I think they like the Pharaoh one the most. We used it a lot. We used it a lot during COVID. Yeah, just polishing up the old favorites and teaching Sunday school and our ECC kiddos. They just love all the Pesach songs.
Yeah. Do they have a favorite?
It might. I mean, there are so many Ellen Allard favorites for Pesach. 10 Plagues in Egypt Land. No. Wall of Water. Micha Mocha. Lots of matzah. I could keep going.
Oh, don't stop. Oh,
yeah. No, honestly, there's not enough time to do everything we do. 10 Plagues in Egypt Land.
Well, there's that one's a lot of fun. And I have to say, I will make a confession and say that I have to use the lyrics in front of me because I don't remember all of them. I try, but maybe if it's early in the morning and I'm fresh, I'll remember them all. But once it gets to this time, I need to have lyrics in front of me, even though I wrote the song. So, okay. Well, let's see. What else can we talk about before we get to the song? Because we're waiting for a few people to come on. You know what we could do is I can say this. If you're watching, please let us know. If you can leave a comment, I can see it anyway. I think, Ross, you might be able to see it as well. So leave us a comment so that we can see it. And I'm going to even look on Facebook and see. Be ready to start a live video. I did that already. Okay. That's weird. I don't know why I'm using this new program and it is challenging, but okay. So Ross Woolman wrote that he is watching. Okay, that's good. Anybody else watching here? Because we want to know if you're watching, and that way we can do the song. I'm going to actually, so you know what? It might be fun for you to sort of like hand me a microphone, like you're interviewing me. And do you have any thoughts or questions about this song? And we can talk a little bit about that.
Well, I guess why this song? Why this topic? This little thread part of our holiday?
That's really a good question. I'll tell you how it started. A friend of mine asked me if I had any new songs about bang, 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 bang. What is it? How does the song go?
Bang, 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 hold your hammer.
Hammer Right, that one. And I said, I didn't, but it reminded me that, you can take any one little slice of the holiday, one little piece of it, like frogs, for example, and you can create a whole song about it. And then that can also help you to teach the holiday. So I thought the frog song is the frog song, right? The old frog song, which is the one that you use.
One morning, Pharaoh woke in his bed. There were frogs on his bed.
And frogs on his head, right? I
Yeah.
remember seeing Debbie Friedman do that once at Havana Shira, and she just sort of like took this simple little song and made it come alive. And ever since then, I've added all the movements to it. So that's a great song. It's been around. I don't even know who the composer is of it, but
is that a Shirley Cohen?
Maybe it's a Shirley Cohen. And if it is, she's a wonderful, wonderful resource, wonderful music teacher, performer, musician. So let's see. Susan Sachs is watching. Steffi Karp is watching. Belinda Singer is watching. Hello to all of you. I know from New Jersey, I think, and from Massachusetts, right down the pike from me, and from San Diego. So nice to have you. Debbie Mandala. And I don't know if I'm saying it correctly. Forgive me if I am. From Florida. Nice to have you. Steffi thinks maybe Rabbi Dan Lieben wrote that. No, I think it might have been
Shirley Cohen. I just found
right.
the or text on my
right.
computer.
Good. And Juliet's watching from London, and Julie Schreiber's watching from she's probably in Seattle. And Susan's in Pennsylvania. Well, welcome to all of you. So, okay. So I answered your question about that. What are you putting on?
But why frogs and why not blood or the locusts or?
Well, the frogs are sort of fun, for kids. I mean, they're not fun in the context of the story, of course, but it's a jumping off point, right? Like, let's just pretend for a moment that you're teaching the song. You're in front of a group of 4-year-olds. What are you going to say? And you can help the people who are watching who might want to teach the song. What are you going to say to them as an iyun to introduce it?
Well, there were so many plagues, and you got to wonder how everybody felt in the middle of the plagues.
How they felt in the middle of and what do you think a 4-year-old or a 3-year-old would say?
They might say, I love frogs.
Right. And so you're the teacher, you love frogs. Yeah. If it were me, I would say frogs are kind of fun. They jump. What else do they do? They hop. What else do they do? What kind of sound do they make? They ribbit. Right. So you can take, and this is when I teach teachers about introducing and writing an iyun, or an iyunim, multiple iyun, right? A little intro, a little story. I suggest not to take up time, but to really help to sort of elaborate on the theme of what you're teaching and to help it come alive. And so that is a great way to think about, rather than just saying, okay, I have a new song about frogs, to really kind of help that song come alive so that the kids have a context in which to put the song. But I think that's an important thing to do. Okay. I'm open to other questions.
Well, not just how would you introduce it, but what's the first part of the song you would teach?
What's the first part? Hold on a second. My lights are going. Bananas. Da, 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 da. Here it goes. Okay. What's the first part? Good question. I probably would do, I think that the first line, which happens twice in the chorus, is the easiest one of the 4 phrases. So I would teach that first. I would say, I'm going to say frogs, and you say it. Of course, I mean sing it after me. Okay, I go first. Frogs, and your turn.
Frogs.
You gotta love frogs. And I might even say another way to teach it would be every time I raise my hand, or I put on my frog hat, or I hold up my frog puppet, or my frog popsicle stick puppet. Every time I hold it up, you say the word frog. So Russ, you're going to pretend you're going to like make your frog jump when I say frogs. Okay. All right. Frogs,
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 frogs.
You gotta love frogs.
You gotta love frogs.
They're absolutely positively charming. Here it comes. Get ready. Frogs,
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 frogs.
You gotta love frogs.
You gotta love frogs.
Amphibious, fabulous, frogs.
Frogs.
Right. And another thing, I'm just throwing out a bunch of different ideas. I'm going to sing it all by myself. Nobody else is going to sing it. And you're going to count how many times I sing the word frogs. All right, Ross, I'm going to have you count it. Frogs, frogs, you gotta love frogs. They're absolutely positively charming. Frogs, frogs, you gotta love frogs. Amphibious, fabulous frogs. Excellent. That's right. I said it 7 times. Yay. Did you just
Yay!
How did that happen? Did somebody else add that or you did?
It's a Mac thing. You can
Oh,
do hearts.
how do you do it?
You hold up your thumb, or you hold up hearts, or you do 2 of these, and you get different reactions.
All right, wait. Do them again. Let's teach everybody.
All right.
We're going to get off the topic.
You do a peace sign, and you get balloons.
Okay.
2 peace signs, and you get confetti. Thumbs up, thumbs down. You can do heart. Do a heart. It's got to recognize it. I'm doing my best. Doing my best. There you go.
My God, that is so. You just taught me something.
There's is it this one? There's one more that you do, but I forget what it is.
Now, if somebody wanted to look that up online, what would you suggest that they use for a prompt?
I think like FaceTime, Mac or iPhone FaceTime hand gestures.
Okay. Good. I always wonder about that. I think that that's something that my dear friend Sheldon Lowe taught me is you have to know what to put in the prompt. Same with Chat GPT. If you want to get a good result, you have to know what to put in the prompt, right?
Yeah.
So, okay. So Serene said the only frogs I don't like are the ones in my throat. I totally agree with you there. Okay. Now that was, oh, it goes dark. Oh, wait a minute. It like a storm. Oh, what did you do for that one?
I'll send you the link. You do 2 like rock and roll hands. And if you do 2 thumbs up, you get fireworks.
Oh my God. We could just forget about the song and just have fun with this.
Forget about it.
Forget about it. Okay, so let's go on. So frogs, that's how I just gave people a bunch of different ideas, and I'm sure we have very expert teachers who are in the who are watching, and I'm sure that they could come up with ideas as well. So let's for a second, why don't we do this? I'm going to put up the let's see if this works. I'm going to put this up. We're going to go to slide 1, and I'm going to also tell people that I don't know if you can see it, but there's a link. I just literally put the sheet music in my store. And if you want it, you can just go to ellenaller.com and you can go to the store and you can find it. But the link is right there. And I'm happy to send the link to anybody who can't find it for whatever reason. Okay. So here are the lyrics, but I'm not going to leave them on for very long.
Oh, I can control it. Look at that.
Yeah, you can control it. Okay, so we just left it on for a second. So let's take it off. I'm just going to take it back off. And I'm going to grab my guitar. And before I start playing any of it, Cantor Woman, I want to also say a great big public thank you to you. Because I wrote to you yesterday, I think. Right? I think I only had one sleep. I wrote to you yesterday.
Last night. I got to it last night after bedtime. With the kids
after bedtime, and you were so kind to do that, and I am so grateful to you. You and I go way back, so I'm really grateful. I didn't expect you to do it as quickly as you did, and I'm like super grateful. So Ross is an expert transcriber. So if you've written a song or you know somebody who's looking for somebody to do some transcription, Ross is your guy. He is really good at it. He knows theory. And he's even corrected me and helped me, like, for example, on those eighth notes for this song.
It's a swinging eighth notes piece.
I had no idea how to do that. So I tend to just write it exactly the way my ear hears it. But you gave me the handy way to really do it. That's correct from the transcription standpoint. It's professional. So thank you for that.
And the only thing I would add is that all the great work that I get to do with Transcontinental Music Publications. Transcon publishes so much Jewish music, and it's kept my skills sharp and all the work that we do together to put out great songbooks. Yeah.
And that's great. And, you talked me into getting Sibelius a few years ago. And there was a time when I wanted to like wring your neck because It is not easy, but I have found a couple of things that have been helpful. I found, first of all, there's a Sibelius Facebook group, and there are people who are admins for it who literally, I think that they staff it like 24/7, because when I put up a question, and I put many questions up, somebody answers it. Multiple people answer it right away. So that's great. And I also can just Google Sibelius and just whatever my question is, and I almost always find whatever it is that I need. I'm going to actually go here and make sure that I'm on Do Not Disturb so that I don't get all these beeps and bumps. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, first of all, I just sang your praises, and I hope people are listening. Do you have any other questions about the song besides why frogs?
The only other question I have is about the key. Did you choose this key intentionally because it sits well in children's voices, or because it sounds good on the guitar?
It's where my fingers went to. If I were doing it and teaching it to kids, I would do it higher. I'd probably do it. Frog. I wouldn't go up there. That's too high. But I would do frogs, frogs, and even that. Let's see. I did it here. D. What if we did it? Frogs, frogs. I might do it in E. Frogs, frogs. You gotta love frogs. Right? I might do it there. I might do it in F. I might take my capo. Oh, yeah, of course. I didn't get my capo out. Hold on a second. Let me get the capo. That would help to answer this question. Frog, frog, you gotta love frog. Okay. I think that's a really good question, and something that people who are teaching kids should think about when they're doing a song. You know, of course, if you can't sing it in if the only key you can do it in is a low key, well, then do it in that key. If that's what happens, then that's what happens.
What is your opinion of a child's tessitura, like from the safe zone to sing in, so that it's not too low for them or not too high for them?
Well, it's going to depend on the age of the kid, right? And, you know, like you have a choir of kids who are more like elementary school, right? So it really...
Yeah, we start at third grade just because we have a lot of work to do, and cognitively they can read and they can typically handle a lot of stuff.
Well, I'll throw the question back at you because you're right there in the trenches. What do you do?
I try not to do anything below an A. I'm a tenor, but I typically sing in the key of the people, and nothing above an A or a B, because otherwise, you know, unless you really warm them up and you prepare them for some high notes, we want to look down on the high notes. Right. But yeah, typically there. And I know that sometimes kids have a hard time singing with my lower voice. So anything C to G, I can sing up in their voice, and that helps them to hear the right notes.
So if I were going to do that, of course, I didn't pick up or did I? I know I picked up my tuner, not my capo. I am having a really hard time with that B seventh chord. I told you my fingers just stopped remembering how to play that B seventh chord, and it's necessary if you're going to play this song in the key of G. So if I wanted to do it, let's just say in F, I might play it in C and just go up. Let's see. I might go up to here and just
wait. Shirley Cohen just shared a comment. Is that the same Shirley Cohen that wrote?
Yes, that's her. Oh, ask Shirley. We were just talking about you, Shirley. Right?
The frog song.
Yeah.
And the that's well, now I'm nervous. I wasn't nervous before.
Shirley, we were just singing your praises and saying that we were not the same one.
Not the same one.
You don't have to be nervous anymore. Well, we're trying to figure out who wrote the original Frogs. Frogs here, frogs there, frogs are jumping everywhere, that song. And if anybody...
By the way, adaptable to all the other plagues pretty easily.
Yeah. Yeah, you can, right. How would you do that? Hail here, hail there, hail is falling everywhere.
I have slides for it all, yeah. Lice are biting everywhere, and
that's brilliant.
Darkness, darkness everywhere.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
I wonder if when she wrote it, if that was her intention. Who knows, right?
Shrug.
I don't All right, so I'm going to break the song up into pieces. Eventually, we're going to get to the whole thing, but I am going to sing just the chorus and give people a little taste of it. All right. I'm curious to know, for those of you who are watching, can you, lice are itching everywhere. There is a link on the screen, and I'm curious to know if that link works, or is there a way for you to copy that link? Maybe you can tell, Ross. I'm just curious. This program called StreamYard is fairly new for me.
It is not clickable when I am going over to Facebook, but I can see the whole thing. If you are able to put it in the description of the video, then maybe.
Yeah, you mean on Facebook. And I couldn't figure out how to do that. That's a whole nother lesson. That's a tech that just, I wasn't there for that lesson. So I will have to figure it out. But I think if I did put it up there, but let's see if I put it here. Now is it clickable? I put it in the comments.
Oh, well, then it should be if you put it in the comments.
Yeah, see if it's clickable.
I don't see it yet.
Oh, yeah, because I'm looking at comments on stream.
I'm looking at Facebook.
Okay.
I mean, and now people are like, just sing the song, Ellen. We just want to hear the song.
Okay, so I'm going to do that. I'm actually going to play it in G.
How long, Pharaoh, will it take to let our people go? Says Leon Sure.
How Long, Pharaoh is a great song for all the play. I don't know that one. I'm going to have to look that one up.
Hey, it's coming soon to the TransCon Cole Bessetter anthology.
The whole anthology. Wow.
I think they're doing a whole anthology. TBA in the fall, to be released in the fall.
Okay, here I go. Frogs, you gotta love frogs. They're absolutely positively charming. Frogs, you gotta love frogs. Amphibious, fabulous frogs. Everybody try it with me. Frogs, you gotta love frogs. They're absolutely positively charming. Frogs, you gotta love frogs. Amphibious, fabulous frogs. Shall I keep going? I think that was pretty easy to learn. Right, let's do it one more time and then we'll go.
You want to put the words up so they can sing along?
Sure, absolutely. Let's do that. Okay. And I'll let you go to the second one. So, okay, the second page.
Sure.
Frogs, you gotta love frogs. They're absolutely positively charming. Frogs, you gotta love frogs. Amphibious, fabulous frogs. Frogs, you gotta love frogs. They're absolutely positively charming. Frogs, you gotta love frogs. Amphibious, fabulous frogs. Oh, Pharaoh, do you think he loved frogs? Probably not. Oh, Pharaoh, do you think he loved frogs? On second thought, definitely not. No way, no how. Frogs, you gotta love frogs. They're absolutely positively charming. Frogs, you gotta love frogs. Amphibious, fabulous frogs. Oh, Pharaoh's people, do you think they love frogs? Probably not. Pharaoh's people, do you think they love frogs? On second thought, definitely not. No way, no how. Oh, frogs, you gotta love frogs. They're absolutely positively charming. Frogs, you gotta love frogs. Amphibious, fabulous frogs. Oh, Pharaoh's army, do you think they love frogs? Probably not. Pharaoh's army, do you think they love frogs? On second thought, definitely not. No way, no how. Oh, frogs, you gotta love frogs. They're absolutely positively charming. Frogs, you gotta love frogs. Amphibious, fabulous frogs. But the frogs, they hopped and they leaped and they croaked and they jumped. In the night they crept through the palace, paving the way for Pharaoh to say, definitely not, no way, no how.
No way, no how.
Oh, frogs, you gotta love frogs. They're absolutely positively charming. Frogs, You gotta love frogs, amphibious, fabulous frogs. Oh, frogs, frogs. You gotta love frogs, they're absolutely positively charming. Frogs, frogs. You gotta love frogs, amphibious, fabulous, amphibious, fabulous, amphibious, fabulous frogs.
What a great song. I mean, yeah, Pharaoh doesn't like it, but what about Moses and Aaron?
That's the cool thing about
I gotta say, I love the frogs.
Well, you'd have to change the words a little bit then, right?
Right. You could even ask the kids and let kids figure out for the next verse.
Right. Who else doesn't like frogs, or who else does like frogs, right? Cool. All right. So I want to mention to people, first of all, does anybody have any questions about it? Let us know in the comments. And if you are interested, I put it in my store, so you can hop right over there. Rivet,
for the sheet music.
For the sheet music. And there's a bonus with the lyric sheet and the chords. So it's both the sheet music and the lyric and the chord sheet. And I am going to be making a Passover bundle, and that song will probably be a bonus in it. So, and that is going to go up probably in the next day or so. So I just am in the middle of putting that together. So you and your matzo hat.
Hey, Ellen, do you have like PowerPoint slides available for purchase?
I don't. I'd like to, though. I wonder if someone could help me make them.
Oh, someone may already have them and would be happy to share them with you.
For this song?
Not yet, but for many of your songs.
Cool. And so if somebody wanted to get those PowerPoints from you, could they buy them from you?
Oh, I would give them to you. They're your songs.
You give them to me. Okay. You give them to me. Yeah, I'd love to be able to do that. That would be a cool bonus to actually, not only if you buy the song, but you can get those too. So right. Aaron Kellett asked, who's Aaron Kellett? Do you know Aaron Kellett? Do you sing children's songs? Yes, this is a children's song that we just shared. Frogs, frogs. You gotta love frogs. I wonder if the title should have been You Gotta Love Frogs. Let's vote. What does everybody think? Should it be Frogs, Frogs, or, because it's not too late, or You Gotta Love Frogs? What do you think? What's your thought, Cantor? Do you know Aaron Kellett? Do you sing children's songs? Yes, this is a children's.
I am sorry, I went over to Instagram to see what was happening over there. Yeah, I try to think, sometimes it's the first couple of words, and sometimes it's like Leon Schur says YGLF is the title.
You gotta love frogs. It's not too late. And I know how to go into the Sibelius and change it.
Boom.
Oh, Steffi says we have 3 votes for you. Come on, everybody who's on here. There's 18 people. We need more votes so we can have a real poll here. Is it You Gotta Love Frogs? You Gotta Love Frogs. It's coming up. It's You Gotta Love Frogs is kind of cuter, right?
Although I will say, like, when you're searching for that PDF on the computer, it is much better to look for chala chala versus what's it called? My Shabbos Chala. I always go to see. Of course, there are 2 different songs.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah. And then you got multiple songs with the same title. So that could also be a challenge.
Right. It's very challenging. I have that with Purim. There's a Spin Your Grogger Round and Spin Your Grogger. Those are 2 separate, totally different songs.
You Gotta Love Lice. Not in our early childhood center.
You Gotta Love Lice. It's absolutely positively charming. I mean, that being said, you could do it for all of the
blood. You gotta love blood. Nah.
Yeah, I don't think so. So Aaron, welcome to our live stream. You're from Toronto. I did spend some time at Temple Sinai a few years ago. Well, that's why I suggest Not Frogs, confused with the classic one. Yeah, I'm kind of like, now what about, here's another question. Should it be You Gotta Love Frogs or You Gotta Love Frogs? Because in the song, I wrote it as Ya. Frogs, frogs, ya, Y-A. You gotta love frogs. That's a tough one.
Yeah, I don't know. It might be just that the folk process will take over and people will call it whatever they want.
Right. Right. It is a tough one. I know. I'm hoping that enough people will vote, and then we can. Let's see. I got a private chat here. What's the private chat? Ah. Now, how do I get back to the other comments? There we go. Okay.
Shirley Cohen's sister Risa has chimed in and is saying, for children, you should probably say "you," so that it's proper English.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, but it's no fun to sing. Really think about it, Risa. Frogs, you gotta love frogs. It's like, it doesn't right? It's much more fun to sing frogs, you gotta love frogs. I know, this is making me so nervous. This is it. What do I do?
What do you think an Israeli or someone whose English is not their first language would think about that?
Yeah, Risa said, I would write you and sing yeah. It would probably come out like that anyway, right? Frogs, you gotta love frogs. Publish you, sing yeah. Leon's one of my go-tos, like you are, Ross. So I would.
Yeah, but we're cut from different cloth, He's in the finale world, I'm in the Sibelius world. I mean, it's a good thing we're good friends, because otherwise.
Yeah, rolls off the tongue much better. These songs morph anyway, they do. I would tell you that. So, all right. So you know what? Just in case, if you want to purchase it, just get it anyway. And at some point, if I'm going to change it, I'll change it. But at least you'll know what it is. It's either frogs, or you gotta love frogs. One or the other. So, where's your Seder going to be this year, Ross?
We're hosting. Actually, Malka's family is descending upon our house. Her extended family, some from New York,
from Holland,
one from Australia. Not her Dutch family. They're not Jewish, but well, some of them are not Jewish. It's a long story, but her Seattle family, and many of whom have scattered across the world. And someone's coming in from Australia, and some are coming in from Southern Arizona, and some from the Bay Area, and some from all over New York City. So it's going to be fun. And I love doing writing a new Haggadah every year and just tweaking the readings that we're doing. And of course, some things will be a little different this year, especially after October 7th. But lots of singing, lots of music. And, I always have a guitar at my side when it's time for Seder.
And will you do 10 Plagues in Egypt land?
Yeah, that's definitely one that we do. And sometimes we'll do Standing at the Shores, Micha Mocha. And Baby Moses in a Basket has been known to pop up at our Seder every now and then.
That's a good one.
But sometimes it's just like, as we're cooking, Malka will be like, hey, what about this one? And, she's the best cantor's wife in the world. She knows some of the music better than I do.
Well, she's also an early childhood expert and also a fabulous cook too. So,
yeah,
is she making her own gluten-free matzah?
I don't know what the plan is for this year. She and her mom have been talking. Her mom is plant-based, so
like me,
like you, I'm still permitted to smoke a brisket. But we have quite a variety of food to make it meaningful. And my big thing is just get outside your comfort zone, even if you normally don't eat bread and gluten. Just change the way that you eat to recognize that folks struggle with hunger every day. So, there are. Yeah. So even if you still eat rice and you still eat keepniot and things, just change up the way that you eat.
Yeah.
To bring awareness to yourself that you might be a little uncomfortable, based on to remind us that the Chol Dor Vador, that we are all acting as if we're freed from slavery.
Yeah, I think that's important. Certainly all year, all the time, but especially during this time of the year. I do make my own challah. Not challah. Matzah. I make my own gluten-free matzah, and it's been certified kosher by Rabbi Klein, who's my rabbi. And I make it with oats and potato starch and almond flour and a little bit of flax meal with water to kind of hold it together.
How many seconds is your goal for from the time the water touches it to in the
18
oven?
minutes.
18 minutes.
Yep. Isn't that the correct?
I need to look that one up. I forget exactly what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's 18 minutes. That from the time that the grains get wet until it comes out of the oven has to be 18 minutes. So I work really hard to make that happen. And if it doesn't, it doesn't, but I work hard to make it happen. So, yeah. And yes, Leon, especially with the hostages still being held. Yeah, we just have so much to, remember and to just, yeah, Steffi says 18 minutes. So, okay, well, I think that's good. I feel like we sang the song. That was my goal. I wanted to also sing your praises, so that was one of my goals. And
what are you doing for Seder this year?
We are going to some dear friends of ours. You probably know Jim Ball and Anita Diamond. Do you know?
Wow, like that's got to be some Seder.
It is, and their daughter Amelia, she's very social action oriented. So her Seders are always very much revolve around social action. They're always a lot of heated discussions, a lot of delicious food. So fun. Yasher koach, folks. Chag sameach. Thank you, Leon. And thanks to everybody for hanging out with us for a little bit. This was great. Thank you, Ross. I so appreciate it. I'm going to end the stream, but stay on so that we can just wrap this up in a nice little bow.
You got it.
All right. I'm going to first stop the Instagram one and live video. And
Chag sameach.
I'm going to go here and end the reset. Thank you, everybody, for listening. So appreciate it.